As you know, I work as a truck driver and I am currently on a trip for work, so I'm actually just here at a hotel room. I've just been picking up product to bring back to the warehouse that I actually work out of, but it's also the first of the month, and that means that I got my first full real paycheck from this job, and so I know now how much I'm going to get paid and how long it's going to take me to pay off my debt. It's been at least 6 months since I talked about how much debt I have on this channel, and since that time I have made significant progress on some of my debt. So today I'm going to talk about how much debt I have remaining and how long it's going to take off each remaining debt. So first off, I want to talk about credit card debt. I haven't had any credit card debt for a long time now. I do still have my credit card, but I don't use it very often, and when I do, I get repaid very quickly. The only debt that I have on my credit card that needs to be paid is something that work needs to reimburse me for. It was something that I just didn't have the cash on hand to pay for, so I ended up just putting in my credit card, and work will have me reimbursed by Tuesday. So it's not something that I'm too worried about. Even if they didn't reimburse me, it would still be paid off within the next 2 weeks anyways, so I wouldn't have to pay any interest on it. It is pretty rare that I actually use my credit card these days. Most of my payments go onto my debit card, and I just draw things directly from my checking account. I have found that the credit card is easier to use for certain types of transactions, and it does solve short-term money problems, but in general I don't really spend money using my credit card. I spend so little money every month that it's not worth any rewards points or cash back that I would get on my credit card to actually use it. So it's really kind of inconvenient for me, and I just don't use it very often. But there are certain situations where I do find it valuable. The next loan that I have to pay off is a personal loan from the bank. It's a very high interest rate, unsecured loan, but it was really my only option. I had an emergency where I just had to come up with $30,000 basically overnight, and this was the best way to do it, unfortunately. I have been paying off this loan fairly aggressively, even with just the minimum payments, and I'm now down to $22,700 on this loan. Starting next paycheck, I will be making much larger payments than the minimum payment on this loan, and I believe I should have it paid off within about 6 months. And this loan really is on my hit list because it is costing me about $700 a month in minimum payments to keep this loan around. And at the moment, I'm spending about $250 a month, something like that, on interest on this loan. So it really needs to go away. It's by far the worst loan that I have, and it's the most obnoxious. But you know, sometimes things happen, emergencies happen, and I just needed $30,000 really fast, so what can you do? So after that loan is done, I have my car loan. So my car loan is currently sitting at about $29,000, which is about what my car is currently worth. Used car values are pretty high, and my car is worth more than I bought it for. This $29,000 though does include maintenance for about another 6 months to a year. So when you look at it that way and consider that I'm paying this car loan instead of rent, I haven't really seen any other car that has as low of an operating cost for my current situation as my current car does. I have considered selling it and buying something else, but I just end up taking the risk of spending a lot more on maintenance, and I really need that reliability if I'm going to be living in this thing full time. So that's why, despite the large amount of the loan, I haven't really complained too much. Also, the interest rate on the loan isn't that bad. However, once my personal loan is paid off, it is seriously my next target, and I will be spending all the money that I was spending on my personal loan, plus of course the minimum payment, and I'll be hitting that car loan really very hard over the next year, and it should be paid off within about a year. My car loan is also right around $700 per month. So between my car loan and the personal loan, I have been spending about $1,400 a month in minimum payments on just those two loans. Having said that, once this next year is up, I will be saving about $1,400 a month. So those are the two major loans that I have, and I really need to get knocked out. There is kind of two remaining student loans. So one of them are my federal loans, and currently I'm not going to worry about them too much. They aren't collecting interest, and I am not making any payments on them. The minimum payment is $0, so I'm going to ignore them for now. I'll definitely revisit those loans if something changes in that department. And once my other loans that have larger minimum payments on them get repaid, I'll go back and reconsider exactly how I want to deal with these student loans. But for right now, they aren't really causing any problems, so I'm not going to say I pretend that they don't exist, but they're just not a major cause of stress at the moment. I do have a small $5,000 private student loan, and that is a very annoying loan, but it's only $50 a month. And it always comes down to, with that loan, if I have money to spend on something, would I spend it to repay that loan and recover $50 a month? Given my current budget, the answer is no. So it's at the bottom of my list of loans to repay. But once my other loans are repaid, the ones that are causing me problems, then I will take a look at that $5,000 loan and see exactly what I want to do with it. I'm probably going to want to repay that, but if something else happens in my life, I might focus on that instead, because $50 a month, even when you don't consider my debt repayment, it's a very, very small percentage of my overall budget. So it's annoying, and it needs to be repaid, but I'm just not that worried about it right now. I'll worry about it later when my bigger problems are solved. So I only really have 2 major loans that I have to worry about right now, and I should be debt payment free within about a year. I want to talk really quick about the income side of things as well and what the plan is there. So currently I am building my YouTube channel. It is making money now. Even though I'm not fully monetized by YouTube, I don't have that 1,000 subscribers yet. I am making money with it. It's currently mostly in Amazon store credit, but that's actually okay. That allows me to improve my lifestyle and go on more adventures without having to spend money. I don't really want to be pulling money out of that Amazon account. I could theoretically do that, but then I start having to pay taxes on it. It's not going to make a big difference in my budget yet. I'd rather focus on building my channel. The plan is then to continue working at my current job, making as much money as I can there until my YouTube channel reaches the point where it's bringing in a similar amount of money, or at least has the potential to bring in a similar amount of money as my current job, and then I'll switch over. So that way it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. I don't necessarily want to just do work that I hate just to grind through and finish off paying off this debt. This debt will get paid off one way or the other in a similar time frame. It's just the YouTube channel may end up taking over my job and replace it as my source of income. And thank you to my current one patron, Monique over at Simple Enough. I've decided what I'm going to do with my Patreon is I'll probably have 2 different tiers on it. One is for people that really want to help with my debt repayment. So for those people, I'm going to have a tier, and I will spend all of that money on just repaying debt. And then I'm going to have another tier which will be focused more on improving my YouTube channel and going on more adventures. So if you want to help out with either of those 2 things, check out my link in the description below. That will take you a link to my Patreon so you can check that out.